Whoops.
Whoopsie
All right, y'all. It is that time of the year again. No, it's that time of the year again. It's time for us to knock out another God of War game. Oh yeah, it's the fifth one in the series that I have played for the channel. First was 3. Second was Ascension. Third was 4. Fourth was 1. Technically 2, as far as the timeline is concerned. Which was like I think Shadow of Olympus or. All right. So it's hot. Like I'm about to do a lot of that. I can't skip it. Ooh gosh. Ooh golly, good golly, Miss Molly. You sure love the ball. All right, I think this is like yeah. And this was the last time I played this game. I always leave a save slot during the sex scene. 36 minutes in, 35 minutes in. All right, so I'm probably gonna save over this one. So this is just 2 days later. All right. Yeah. Okay. New game. Before I do all of any of that, let's see if I can check the trophy status. What am I missing? Kiss the Naiad. I know what that is. Max out all weapons and yada yada. Okay. So for those wondering, we're about to play God of War on easy mode. Because I gotta try to beat the game in 5 hours. Alright, plot. I'm not gonna beat the game in under 5 hours.
Spoiler alert.
Now there is no hope.
You saw my trophy data.
And Kratos cast
I ain't got
himself
shit to
from the
prove.
highest mountain in all of Greece.
You feel
After
this?
10 years of suffering, 10 years of endless nightmares, it would finally come to an
We'll get to it
end.
in a minute.
Death would be his escape from madness. But it had not always been this way. Kratos had once been a champion of the gods.
All beasts, I will send you back to the depths of Hades!
He will do it. I've seen him. It's weird. Like, so yeah, what I was telling Sid, like I was saying, I have got to get a new controller. I do not have one. I haven't gotten one yet. I mostly use a PS3 controller via the before I pretend like I can hear anything. Oh, someone's
So do make sure to let me know when I should be talking.
All right, yeah, I had to turn like the vol. I didn't. It was incredibly loud, and I was like, "Yeah, this will be fine." And I was like,
"No,
I can turn I can turn the game down." Yeah, that was unacceptable. All right, but yeah, I'm playing it on easy mode because my trophy data, like they saw my trophy data. I have no need to play it on a challenging difficulty because one, I haven't maxed out all the weapons and such. That might have been what one of them other game files was me starting to do that. Don't know. Not
You'll
gonna
never
find out.
know. So, what would you like me to talk about in the first episode of this?
I don't have anything specifically in mind.
Like, I can do this interview with a fresh-faced David Jaffe, like fresh off the heels of trying to make this game.
This one specifically?
This one specifically.
All right, go ahead.
So, I'm not going to read the entire thing. I'm just going to talk about like things that like he was looking forward to, like when he was making this, because at the time, I mean, this was it. So when they were asking him about like the combat for this game, like he felt like it was important that he make it simple, but in your control.
Yeah.
Like he specifically said that he does not want he didn't want it to be like something overly complicated like some other games out at that time. Like he wanted it to be like a very few amount of things you could do, but a variety of things within those things to do, if that made sense.
I wonder if he was referring to Kingdom Hearts when he said games that are complicated.
I don't know, because I mean that was around that time.
Wait, was it? Yeah, it was. Oh my gosh, this is a PS2 game. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot. Fuck, I'm bad at this. I'm tightrope.
I will say
it's not easy.
I don't know if we're gonna get into it in this specific interview, but I did read that he apparently was very inspired by DMC and Onimusha, that game that you were talking about.
Onimusha.
Those are two games. Yeah, or whatever it is, like Onimusha.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna buy that. It's $12. Onimusha Warlords on PS2, for PS2 on PlayStation 3 is available on sale right now, and it will be by the time this video goes out. No one's gonna see it though.
Stay away! Stay away from me!
But yeah, he apparently was very inspired by those two games specifically as far as combat's concerned.
Yeah, like it's weird because Onimusha is a Capcom game. And what do you say, Devil May Cry? Yeah, both Capcom games.
So David Jaffe was just a big fan of Capcom games.
Which is fair. They were good games.
Yeah.
One cannot, take that from Capcom. Capcom at one point in time was really, really good at making things. And I feel like they still are, but they haven't had as good of a run in the past like 10 years as they did in the early 2000s. Like I would say the same for Konami if Konami existed still. Because Konami used to make really good games, like really, really good fun games, and now they don't. And I am curious as to like what caused that. Because I don't know if me and Fish talked about it on camera or whatever, but there was it seems like all the good all the good TMNT games were all made by Konami. Should I just be going forward? What's going on here? Whoa, hello.
Apparently, David Jaffe at the time felt snubbed by IGN, which is the company that was doing this interview at the time, because they didn't put his game on any of the best of E3 lists that year. Which
they didn't know. They didn't know what it was.
Yeah, just given how history pans out from that point. I mean, that's funny.
I blocked it, but it's cool.
Apparently, as far as like using the Greek mythology goes, like he says, and this is like him like talking about future games at this point, which funny, given how far we've come. He really wanted the idea to be fun and coolness on his barometer, as opposed to like historical accuracy as far as like the actual stories went, because he wanted it to be like familiar, but his own spin on it. He really didn't want it to be just, well, if you know what Greek mythology is, this is that
Like,
book of Greek mythology, as
yeah.
opposed to
That's one of
my
the
Greek
reasons I'm not a
mythology.
big fan of that's one of the reasons I'm not a big fan of prequels, because like I don't think prequels make any sense as far as a watching it thing goes. Because I recently my ass, yesterday I watched A Quiet Place on Hulu. Recommend it. I enjoyed it. I really did. But I
Mm-hmm.
had already the reason I watched it yesterday is because I had been seeing the what
Adverts.
crosses to go down, circle, triangle. Okay, neither. I'm just okay. Treading water here. All right, cool. Yeah, I've been seeing adverts for the for part two, and so I knew I had a good idea of who was gonna live and who wasn't.
Because of who's in the trailers.
Yeah, because of who's in like yeah, had a good idea of like what was gonna happen. But like in movies like trying to think of a prequel that we saw that that kind of had the audacity to like create suspense when like, oh, will this character die, and the answer is no, they were in
I
the other
mean,
one.
Red Dead 2 is a good example of that. I mean, it's not a
Yeah,
movie, but
yeah, but yeah,
because you
that's
literally
I feel
know
like
every one of those people who were gonna die and who wasn't.
yeah.
I mean, for the most part. Um,
No, you pretty much knew who all, like anybody. The only characters that you didn't have any like that you couldn't be sure about were the ones who were the ones who were new to you as the player, because
yeah.
everybody, like all the people that John has to kill in the in the first game slash second game, like if they're in the two, they're gonna be that they make it to the end of the game simply because they were
Yeah.
already there. Yeah. God damn it, I am. It's not just me. Like this controller isn't good. It's a third party controller with a crap battery, and I thought that was it. I thought I died. There it is. There's the death. Oh
But
god.
specifically, when he was writing this and using mythology as his source material, he actually got a book from Japan called Mythology, apparently by a man named Edith, or that might be a woman, I don't know, Edith Hamilton, whoever Edith Hamilton is. He, she, it, I don't know. Uh,
It's likely a woman.
while
It's
writing
odd
the
that
train, he
it's a
just,
Japanese book written by someone named Edith Hamilton.
yeah, that's a very American name, or English name at the very least.
Fuck. Very Anglo-Saxony.
But he spent his entire train ride like literally just taking a marker and saying like,
Underlining
yeah,
things.
we need to use this and this and this, and apparently in the first God of War they only used 1/5 of the things that
Pause.
he checkmarked. Okay.
They're shooting arrows at us, and I am not a fan of it.
The visions, they
Also,
were
the
real.
cutscenes
The gods came to me, told me their champion
It's our
would
are not
come and
good.
square.
rescue us from the Hydra.
No, they are.
They're also ugly.
We're pinned down.
They were not upscaled, so they are PlayStation 2 cutscenes
They came from nowhere.
expanded
The ships are all
for
destroyed.
me
All
on a
hope is
50-inch
lost,
screen.
Spartan. Even for you.
Well, he
But
didn't
you
make it.
see every single one of
I see
those
pixels.
glaring
I
issues.
see pixels. Yeah, there's gonna be a whole lot of that going around. All right, sorry. What the fuck? Oh my gosh. All right, this is. Nope. I did. I tried it. I tried to use this controller. I don't know why. But go ahead and talk while I switch sticks.
But yeah, he was saying that they basically only used one ideas that he marked off in that book for the first game.
Mm-hmm.
So back then he was basically saying the other 4/5 were going to be in the other games. We don't
The other
know
games.
if that happened, but he had 4/5 more material for more games. Which is still the sort of thing he's saying about the new game that just came out. Like he's saying he has so many more ideas for the new game. Or not him, but like the people writing that game. Because he's not a part of this thing anymore, right? I don't think David Jaffe is.
All right. I don't think so. No. It is also very fitting that I am playing a game that was originally on PS2 on the PS3, but with a PS2 controller. All right. Yeah, 5 more minutes. It is what it is. I'm just running 20-minute episodes. Okay.
That's what. I think you'll appreciate this quote. David Jaffe says, "There is a lot of genuine replayability in this game, and for the record, I don't feel different difficulty levels equal replay value." That is a weird way to put that. Equal replay value. He basically was saying the difficulty doesn't make it
it doesn't
more
necessarily make it
replayable.
more fun to play. Yeah.
I wanted to make sure
Oh,
players got a
that's pretty
lot
smart.
of bang for their buck. I wanted this game to be overflowing with content, stuffed to the brim with content.
I just want to point out like this right here for like those. Yeah, I got it. This is pretty smart. Like first off, if they hit this box, it's gonna pop. It's gonna break. But I need it in order to ow. Yeah, see if they hit this box many times, it's gonna break. But I need it to get up there.
So he goes on to say, when you bring it home, you really feel like you've got something substantial. To that end, we have two main sources of replay. And again, you can give me your 2 cents on whether or not you feel this is true. One is a collection-based replay system. One is a combat-based replay system. Both of these are not only fun to do, but add much more playtime to the game.
I would like to point out, yes, the combat in God of War. Oh. That's what I was supposed to do. The combat in God of War is 85% of the reason I play it again. Because like my main thing about games that I fucking hell, Curtis. Games that I've played once before that have my fucking fuck. Games that have like are story driven, I don't really feel they have a reason to be played again in most cases. Because like once I know the story, like it comes down to I'm basically just gonna skip all of the plot
Cutscenes.
because I know what happens. Yeah. Because that hurt. Because I know what happens. Like, and I feel like it would be like that for me in Red Dead 2. If I ever played it again, I'd not really care much about the plot because I was like, yeah, I know what happens. But with Red Dead 2, like, I gotta give them points because that game's just like magnificently, like incredibly good, well put together. They're gonna break it.
Yeah.
I knew it. I fucking called it. I knew they were gonna break it. I am a terrible person. Okay, please stop doing that. Hold on. That's not an option. That's not an option. In other games, in like the later games, you can like turn the fuck.
The rewards for doing such, to me, are genuine rewards, not silly stuff like unlocking Big Head mode. So David Jaffe does not like Big Head mode in games. Not as a reward anymore.
Yeah, I think he hates the idea of. I just wasn't holding it long enough, but it's got one more hit in it. If you break this, y'all break this. Yes.
The rewards really reveal more about the history of the game world and the characters, as well as providing lots of neat insight regarding the creation of God of War. I don't know if that's true.
Disagree?
I don't remember if
hey, whatever. The collectibles for the most part are like they don't. Well, that's not completely true. In like the second one for sure, you get stuff for like you get like in-game things. Okay, I gotta get the boatman's key. Oh. All right, we're gonna get up here and then we're gonna. Get up here and then we're gonna call the episode. So what I used to do is every first episode of Adventure Mode used to always be really long. It used to always be 20 minutes, and everything after that would be 15 minutes, 15 to 10 minutes. But okay, so let's get all the way to the top. Ow! I swear y'all didn't tell me how to y'all didn't tell me how to jump up the damn cage, but okay.
Also, to say that his very first goal with God of War was to create a game that's just about the player going nuts. I just wanted the players to feel like a badass warrior. And I feel
would
like
like
I
to point out that
achieved
that is completely gone. If you ever look at if you ever want to look at God of War for the PS4, yeah, you can tell that David Jaffe had nothing to do with that game because that game does not give
because
you
you
that
feel like
feeling.
a very like weakened Kratos.
Yes, yeah, you are. Yeah, the RPG elements in God of War completely ruin it, in my personal opinion, which again don't mean shit to anybody other than me. But with that being said, that's the end of this episode. If you still got more interview to talk about, we'll talk about it in the next episode because we are not done. But until next time, guys, like, comment, and subscribe because it helps the channel grow. And I'd appreciate it, I guess. But until next time, I'm out of here. Peace.